Oh, we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We have three up in the boxes. We got a new Kimmy, can't hear you.
Oh, that's because I wasn't
Oh,
saying anything. I was
talk
mouthing.
your
Your
mouthing.
dreams are your ticket out.
I'm gonna fix your box up a little bit there. Your box is a little off.
I've never heard that before.
You're-
I've
Never
got
mind.
a
I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
say
busy
toddler.
anything.
retweeting.
And
So,
she's being fine, Mom.
so
It's okay. Don't stress.
we're back for
Don't sweat the
we're
little
back
stuff.
2020. We're back for we got a whole new platform here. We got a new streaming uh software, so it looks pretty good. Doc looks a little dark, but that's her lighting, or maybe she got a
Well, you
windburn
can't see
yesterday.
us because we're behind the text.
You're not behind the text.
Doc needs to be bigger.
I can make Doc bigger. A lot bigger.
He-
Don't be
There you
adding.
go. Yeah. That
So
does
You
look
make
good
my
though.
box bigger, but don't make me bigger.
no, you said making you bigger.
Don't be making me a he woman.
A he woman.
That's what I call them. Those big old burly girls that look like that, look real tough. And I call them he women.
Oh, I can make it orange like Donald Trump.
Well, you know what?
Orange woman bad.
I'd be a Cheeto for him.
So here we go. Here we go. Up in the top left, we got Scott of West Texas. Say hello, Scott.
Hello, hello, everyone. We had a blast in the last session with promises kept. I mean, you people in the chat are hilarious. So I'm looking forward to tonight, and we're going to have a good time. Thanks for having me on.
Next up is Grandma. Say hello, Grandma.
Happy New Year, everyone. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
Well, we're glad you're back with us, you little whippersnapper.
Boom.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think maybe you're the whippersnapper.
Well, only if we're judging by the current picture. But I think you might have been using what's her name skincare routine. Not washing her face. Pocahontas. Not washing her face. I just wanted to know in case anybody, excuse me, Kimmy, wants to question me on my skincare regimen. I wash my face, unlike some people.
I saw that.
Oh, I'm saying. I thought they said cleanliness was
Never wash your face. What a stupid night.
And last but not least is Kimmy. Why censored?
Hi, everybody. I don't know who's washing faces and who's not. Are we keeping up with that?
Yeah, you don't see that they were asking the mainstream media in their quest to make the weirdos that are running for president on the Democrat side more personable. They were asking each of them because they, of course, don't want to be sexist, what their skincare regimen was. And Pocahontas said the secret to her beautiful skin, she thought, was that she was of the belief that you never wash your face, ever, 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 never.
Ew.
I know. I'm going, oh, I could have gone. If anybody's wondering, I wash. Just saying.
Never meaning literally never.
Well,
What she
I
said.
don't know, because I mean, what if you were sick or something to wipe your face?
Yeah. I got a beard. I mean, just think about that.
I mean, I will confess that I do not regularly take my makeup off at night, which I know is a big fat no-no. But
to be like my mother and still be beautiful.
I do wash. I do wash my face.
I would wake up the next day looking like a hag, but
well, I wake up the next day looking like I didn't go home last night.
Like you were doing the walk of shame home.
but I'm at the house, like I never left.
Yeah.
I just didn't take my makeup off the night before, but I do wash my face on a regular basis. So yeah, no, I definitely, yeah, that's radical.
There's a sect out there that advocates beautiful skin from by not ever really washing it. Not they think the wear and tear on it, which I'm sorry, that's where it's going to take.
I have wondered that before because, like, the more you mess with your delicate skin on your face, that the more trauma you have put on it.
The more
so it does make sense.
Well,
yeah, I actually had bad acne, and I started whenever I wash my hair, shampoo and condition it. I just go on and do my face too. I use soap, and that's helped a lot. I've only been doing it for about 2 years, but
yeah, you gotta clean yourself.
I find that a good helping of lard every day is a good way to go.
You know something else?
That's the secret to your beauty, Grandma.
It's my beauty secret.
I use shea butter. I love shea butter, but I'm out, so I have to order some
on
more.
Your face?
Are you
dry? Are you dry?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So I'll put shea butter on, and I have to warm it up because it's thick. You have to warm it up a lot in your hands, so it's hard to use in the winter if you're cold. But I put shea butter and just to keep myself from like stretching my skin, I just kind of press it on there, and then I'll kind of rub it in the right places. And I use rose water.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'm
looking at Christy's comment.
Oh, she been playing what she said.
It smells like what's her name's candle.
I hope she's not talking about my face. I hope she's talking about
my lard.
Gwyneth Paltrow's candle that's sold out.
Is it sold out?
Yeah.
Did you find that, Phil? I put that article in a meme that's hilarious right after it in the Speakeasy show host room. Did you see those? I put like 5 or 6 articles.
I have not.
I just posted them right before y'all went on, so it's not too far back. But I've got the article about that girl, with this vaginal scent.
The Goop woman, the Goop owner, Gwyneth Paltrow.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told.
I mean, honestly, that's silliness. Absolutely.
On the meme,
is she in high school?
On the meme, it has her with her product, and on one side, and on the other side, it says at the top something about poor girl's way to do it, and it was a can of tuna with a candle stuck on the top.
Rubs the lotion on its skin.
I read the comments, some of the comments under one of the threads about it, and one of the comments said, "So the dumpster behind Planned Parenthood on a hot day."
That's bad.
Oh, speaking of Planned
Well, wait a minute.
Parenthood,
There's two more. One of them said, "So sulfur."
Rubs the lotion on
and then my
its
favorite
skin,
last
else
one
it gets
said,
the hose
"It's
again."
been done," and it was a picture of a candle. It said, "Oh, day cunt."
Say that again.
Oh, day cunt. It was a candle.
Oh.
Rubs the lotion
did you
on
guys
its
see
skin,
that
or else it gets the hose
Planned
again.
Parenthood has lost like 600,000 donors?
No,
in
it was 400 something thousand.
Yeah.
Oh, was it 400?
Right.
Still,
Yeah.
It's a huge number.
Yep.
It is. That was wonderful news.
It lost that
Yeah.
much. What funding?
Yeah, well,
Donors.
just I don't remember how much
donors.
money. Yeah, donors.
That's good. It's good news.
Yeah, it's really good
remember
news.
now they're having to separate their facilities
Thank you very
from
much.
anything with federal funding. So, and they can't recommend abortion. So it's really going to cut their access greatly. So it's going to be a great year for the pro-life movement.
Yep.
Then I
And-
saw
and
another
we have
tweet.
I'm sorry. I was going to say just real quick. Didn't we have a whole bunch of senators and or congressmen that signed that thing about encouraging Supreme Court to take up Roe v. Wade again?
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah,
either.
there's a movement on that. Yeah.
There is. There was a whole bunch of them that was I can't remember, y'all. I have to go back and look at that again. Don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of them that signed, and they sent a letter, and I think it was to the Supreme Court, encouraging them to relook at either Roe v. Wade or something that had to do with that.
Yeah, there were like 200 house people that did that. I also read in that article. Oh gosh, I forgot. Go ahead, I'll remember.
Real quick.
I saw.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know about the alerts that I added to. I love playing with them. Added to the show from DLive. So I think you should go to DLive and give us some lemons so we can see the alerts. Here's the first one.
Much.
Here's the second one.
Because you'd be in jail.
I love that one. And the Ninja Guinea for.
I'm really rich.
That's for Why Censored. And then a Ninja. Look at those ladies with Trump.
I don't get to hear or see anything.
You should.
You have to be at DLive to do it.
Yeah.
I'm watching Periscope. It's showing it up on Periscope, so it should be on DLive. It's a little box right above their heads there.
Yeah.
I see it.
By the way,
Test Ninja Guinea.
By the way, I got to mention. I forgot to mention. Tigress is in the chat, and my background is actually a painting that her and her daughter did, and so just wanted to give her kudos for that.
Oh, nice. It's very nice.
And she does it all. I mean, that girl cooks and cans and paints and does all sorts of things. Tigress is really a very multi-talented young lady.
Yes, indeed.
Grandma, were you trying to?
Yeah, I was going to tell you there was a tweet I saw, and I was so disgusted by it. I don't remember who did it, but it was a magazine that had an article about how to give yourself an abortion, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
God, this is ridiculous."
Oh my God.
I remember. Also, I remembered what I was going to say a while ago when we were talking about the on the Supreme Court stuff. One of the big reasons that they want to take Trump out so bad is because they know if we get one more Supreme Court pick, Roe versus Wade is gone. It would be a given.
I think
that's one of the reasons.
Get more than just one.
Oh yeah.
Is that why they made the announcement that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is cancer-free? Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I don't believe that for a second.
Drugs, Grandma. That's what off the market drugs does for you. Because there's no way. My uncle just died of pancreatic cancer, and there is no way that she has survived that many bouts with it, and it has not metastasized, or she has not been. You just cannot convince me. It's got to be those off the market drugs that she's supposedly receiving. I think they'll do anything to keep that woman alive. She may be.
I would agree.
For all we know.
I just want to know who on DLive has a name Sent Me Flaccid.
I know who it is.
Sent me what?
Sent Me Flaccid. Oy.
It's somebody we all know.
I just saw. I just see the Daily Boogie up on the screen now, and just for the people that were I watched or listened to, which I had to wear headphones because I was at the elementary school at night. So yeah, one of the shows he threw a lot of F-bombs out there. Yeah, he threw a lot of F-bombs out there, so I had to put the headphones on, the Bluetooth headphones, to listen. But people are probably wondering why I was laughing the whole time. But I just want to put this up because he was getting a lot of hate from a lot of people. And I'm going to put this up because I think Boogie made some very valid points. And remember what Jefferson said. I just put this up on the screen. Question with boldness even the existence of God, because if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear.
Yeah, I agree. And I've always said, or not always, but for a long time have said, God's not afraid of us. He's not afraid of our fear. He's not afraid of our anger. He's not afraid of our disbelief. He's not afraid of any of that. He can handle it, and he can take us and he can move us past it if we let him. But if you sit there and you hide the fact that you're not afraid, or that you're not angry, or that you're not lacking in faith in one way or another, then you're not giving him the chance to work with you through that issue that you're having. And I think that that's part of what the devil does, is shame us into thinking that we're not worthy to talk to God. And we're not. I mean, let's face it, we're not worthy to talk to God, but God says, I want you to talk to me anyway. And I mean, there have been many times that I've told God things that, like, things I want to do and things I want to say and things that I know good and well he doesn't want me to do and say those things. I'm like, God, you know I want to do this thing. And I'm not going to pretend that I don't. What I'm asking you to do is help me not want to, because I want to really bad. And I'm not kidding. Like, I really want to. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And
I
I was
always
you have
said
to,
if there was a button I could push and quit sinning, I would push it. I mean, I beat that dang thing.
I don't know.
We're
Sometimes
born
I
into
wouldn't
sin.
push that button. Sometimes the sin is just way too much fun to want to. Maybe I'd push it later, but sometimes I'm like, yeah,
Later.
let's hold off on that button pushing for a little bit.
I was just amazed at the
Because the sin
people.
is fun. That's
I
why we
was
do
just
it.
I was just amazed at the people that were calling Boogie a liberal, a Democrat. I mean, obviously, you've listened to the guy for more than a year, maybe 2 years, maybe longer,
Yeah.
and to say
Yeah, but remember,
he's a traitor, and Matt Gaetz in that same
Oh, I see me up on the screen. Thank you.
putting Matt Gaetz in that same pool. Guys can't be like that. You should question everything.
You
yeah, but you gotta
should.
remember, he's an Aussie. Over there, it's reversed. The liberals are the conservatives, and the conservatives are the liberals.
Well, these were
That's
Americans calling him, what are you, a
Yeah.
liberal now?
Yeah.
And, that's just, oh, look at my favorite things up there. I made that for Kimmy just because I pick on
Thank
her
you so
by calling her
much.
Electrolux all the time. But anyway, I thought I was a little disturbed by the comments when I could see them.
You know what that tells me,
I didn't
Phil?
see those.
What that tells me is that there are many on the right who are just as brainless and unthinking and marginalizing, and another word for as people on the left. There are those people, and we like to think, or I should say, I like to think that MAGA is the group that lets you think what you think and has good ideas, and lets you say what your ideas are and all of those things. But once someone has an idea or a thought that goes against what you believe, and you get pissy at that person for thinking differently than you do, then you, my darling, are acting like a liberal. When I say acting like a liberal, I mean acting like liberals have been acting all this time. Turns out that maybe you're just acting like a human being, and maybe we've got humans on our side too that are just as closed-minded as people on the left. But it has been a very disappointing discovery for me, and it didn't just start with him, though. It started before, with other things. When what's his name, Paul Joseph Watson, got mad about Syria, people were like, okay, fuck you, you're gone forever. And like, okay, he gets to have his ideas, he gets to have his thoughts. They're like, oh, you're British, who cares? I care, and others do too, because he is like, we cared about Paul Joseph Watson's thoughts before he decided that he didn't like something the president did. We retweeted him, we shared his stuff on Facebook, and we did all that stuff. We supported him. We're like, yay, we love you. And then he's like, I disagree with Trump doing this, and they're like, fuck you, you never were one of us anyway. What?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That is not fair. And it is so close-minded, and I'm so sick of finding out that people that I respected are closed-minded.
I mean, we could use Ricky Gervais as a good example. I mean, Ricky Gervais is as liberal as they come, but his speaking out about, you know, freedom of speech has amazed me. I mean, he's been really really good about it, and been a sentinel about, you know, freedom of speech. And man,
even
they're hating him
outside
on
of
the
his
left.
speech. Outside of his speech and his tweets and other stuff and interviews, he's not backing down.
Okay,
He's
good.
funny too, hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's a funny dude. So he has said more. I haven't paid attention to him, but he has said more since then. Like,
oh
quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
Now,
it's good.
He's been
I don't know if
on a
all
tweet here.
did all of you guys watch or listen to the TAV show that they ran Sunday night?
Yeah,
Boogie
it
and
was
James
really good.
debated.
I fell asleep, and it was one of the best ones I've ever done. I heard.
It was really a good debate. Really
that was
good.
the best TAV show I've seen since they've started it. And Boogie made very valid points, and so did James, and they got you thinking. I mean, both of them got you thinking.
Yeah.
But we can't have groupthink. That's what the left does.
Right.
So we have to listen to other ideas. Kimmy's spot on.
If they didn't take umbrage with each other, why should you?
And also, I'd like to point out that, you know, you were saying there were some comments negative to Boogie. I mean, maybe they saw that scope in the middle, but didn't have the whole thing, because Boogie was playing the opposite. He you know, James was taking our side.
Scott, I'm talking about his daily Boogie show. Because
when he pulled the car over and told the kids off.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the TAF show thing.
He went on a rant about it because he was getting bombarded with, "I'm never watching you again," you know, "You're done with me," and I saw people doing the same thing to Matt Gaetz. I mean, come on, people. There's nobody in Congress that's been a staunch Trump supporter than Matt Gaetz. He's defended him all the way through those impeachment trials. So now he's a piece of shit.
I didn't understand why he did that, but I'm not going to bail on him. I mean, I understand why he did it, but I didn't agree. I didn't agree with it. But I understand why he did it.
But it still doesn't do the War Act. It doesn't get rid of the War Act. He's still got that 90-day thing. They're only saying that after 90 days, if you're going to do a permanent you know, action engagement, then it needs Congress's approval.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, in this day and time where we are, with liberals, or, you know, Democrats versus Republicans, all they're trying to do is make the president look bad in whatever they do. And so, from the big picture perspective, it appeared, and I know this is not how he meant it, it appeared like he was jumping ship. And we're at the time in our country where it's like, you can't do that right now. Right now, it's like the president needs every little bit of support as he can get. And I know that he supports him. But
did y'all listen to the Bannon interview with him? Steve Bannon and him?
I did. It was good. But
yeah, because I mean,
I think the point is that the optics of it looks that Nancy's going to relate. Nancy and her merry band of minions will use it, and have already used it, you know, as
exactly
armor and all that kind of thing. It just gives them fodder. But, you know,
exactly. That's the only issue I had. It was like, I mean, I understood why you did it. It made perfect sense. But we're in a war. I mean, it's like we're in a war right now, and the optics of it, and that's all this whole thing is right now for the left, is just the optics. They don't care what's the truth. It's what it appears to be. So, you know, you can't use common sense.
But we also have to look at the end game in the long term. I mean, if this had been in place, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in. No, we wouldn't. If we could have used it against Obama when we had the House and the Senate, we could. If we had it back then, we could have stopped that war. Well, if we didn't have the neocons and all that crap. But that's what Gaet's saying. He's looking into the future. The next time a Democratic person gets into the White House, I mean, and they go rogue like Obama did, we need a way to stop it. We know President Trump's not going to do that anyway. And he actually, I mean, he talked to Gates. They talked about it, and Gates said the president was all on board and said, "I understand totally, and I agree." But we just got to look at that long term.
Get the Congress and constitutional powers over the president, that because that trio of powers is what everything rests on, and that usurps the presidential or the executive authority if Congress has that, because that we've got to be able to be nimble. And I understand what you're saying, but that's why it's so important that you better be careful with your vote, and that you better be informed with your vote, and that we cannot afford to ever go to sleep again. So we've got to make sure that we start from the bottom up in clearing that, so that it's not a problem. But we don't want to usurp the authority of the Constitution.
Right.
Well,
I think
there
I
shouldn't
don't
be
think
a
we are in that.
there shouldn't be a Wars Powers Act then. It shouldn't be there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Why they create it? The Article 2 is that's all you need. Why do they have a War Powers Act? You don't
all right.
need
So
it.
tell us what Article 2
one
says.
example,
Phil.
though. Let me give one example right quick. Just look at what happened. The Democrats did the nuclear option, changed the rules of the Senate to where it only took a majority vote instead of a 2/3, and now it's backfiring on them. And now it's backfiring on them because we're passing judges left and right with the nuclear option, and they're the ones that put that in place. We would not be able to do that had they not done that. So it was good for us, but what happens if it would have been reversed?
Here, if you want to go back, let's go back even farther. If Congress had done their job when Obama sent the $150 billion to Iran, he broke the law.
He did.
Right? Nobody in Congress did anything. If they didn't get that $150 billion, would Iran have been doing all of the things they've been doing for the last 6-7 years, right? Probably not.
Right. And if memory serves me correct, was that not a Republican Congress that allowed that?
Well, he just did it. He didn't even ask.
No,
I know,
It
but
was.
they
didn't fight back
about it, and they didn't.
It was, but he violated
let
the
him
law.
do it.
There was a law in place
Yes.
to stop that from happening, and he broke the law when Obama gave him that money.
Because the problem is half of them, just like he said in that interview with Laura Ingraham last night, they didn't want to bring, I can't remember what they were talking about, but POTUS pointed out, he said, they don't want to do that because they would not have been able to withstand scrutiny like he's withstood, because he said they're all guilty of some very bad things. And that went
that's what I was going to point out.
Democrats.
Yeah,
So,
Republican and Democrat, they make tons of money off of war.
the whole top of the government was saturated with corruption. The whole thing. That's why he didn't come into office right off and start putting everybody in jail or trying them, is because we had to have judges in place, or Obama's judges would have never found him guilty. The timing and the sequence of events is important for everything.
Well, they could
I
have,
agree 100%.
they could have impeached him for I mean, they had a clear violation of law.
Though, because they're corrupt. They all made money off of it. They were all as corrupt and can't. That's the pot calling the kettle black. They didn't want to raise the stink because they knew then the stink might get raised about what they've been doing. They're all so dirty up there. If we knew the truth, we would march on Washington tomorrow, I'm sure.
I think Trump is trying, and the Republicans are trying to say that we wouldn't be in this problem with Iran right now if they hadn't gotten 150. They're just not articulating it well.
It's true.
Yeah, but they're not. When you're on TV, they're not articulating it well. They're not saying, "Hey, look, without that $150 billion, there would not be an Iran problem right now."
POTUS has, and Pompeo did in his press conference with Mnuchin yesterday.
Then they all come out and tell him that he's a liar. They're liars. I mean, then the news comes out and says that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Well, the
So
news has
Big
been
problem.
saying that Iran's been peaceful since the JCPOA was passed, but they forgot about the sailors that were kidnapped or held hostage. They forgot about all the bombings that happened, and Soleimani might have been involved. Not sure about this, but Benghazi, the Houthis attacked Benghazi, and who ran the Houthis? Soleimani. But they're not saying a whole lot about it on the media. Iran was
Yeah,
just
plus the
peaceful. We
one-
just attacked them for no reason at all because Orange
Yeah.
Man bad.
Plus the 1.8 billion they got in cash. It took 6 jets to get that, and plus those jets didn't all go to Iran.
remember, it went 3 different locations. That
Yeah, they went to 3 locations.
all across Europe to keep everybody greased because they all wanted the one world government, and that didn't just go to Iran. That money wasn't just sent to Iran. If you
Right.
reader, you know that it's gone to a lot. They said 3 different destinations. So
One of them being North Korea, right?
I'm sorry.
One of them being North
I don't know.
Korea.
I don't remember that one. They probably got some of it, but
I knew it was Germany, and I thought it was another place in Europe, Kimmy. I didn't think it was North Korea.
Okay.
but also
was taking in money and keeping Kim Jong Un on the string, from what I understand.
one of the
When
things
is
on the
Merkel
cue
done?
boards, one of the things on the cue boards too about all of this was that, I mean, because if you all remember, this happened right at the end of Obama's term, you know, so he did it at the last minute. I don't think it was totally planned, but what they're saying is that a lot of that money, they did it at the last minute there because you know how corrupt they were, and they thought Hillary would win, and a lot of that money was going to pay back people that expected to get money after Hillary won. Otherwise, they were going to be dead men, dead women walking. I mean, they would have been killed. But so a lot of that money went to pay back obligations, corrupt obligations.
That's right. There's a lot of people that paid a lot of really big dough to get to pave the way when she became president, and it's all dried up now. And now it's coming to light that not only this week, if you noticed, they added a new person to the little roundup that we've been doing with all the kids. Not only do we have where's Hunter, but Paul Poopsie Pelosi and John Kerry Hines' son, and who was the other one? Oh, Mitt Romney's
Chelsea.
son. Now we added Chelsea, and it came out in some of the news sites. So, I mean, I think there was one on either Breitbart or Fox today. I think it was Fox that was writing an article, and they even went over the fact that she was on a board to be what was it? It was something she's
Chemical analyst.
Huh? That's right. What was it?
Chemical analyst.
Analyst. They were paying her to be on the board. She was as qualified to be a chemical analyst as Where's Hunter was to be on the board for Burisma and all those companies. So they're bringing more and more and more out, guys. I think it's pretty exciting.
Me too.
Because I hope they all. I want, and also, Biden's brother was brought into the picture. Did y'all notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Yes.
Wasn't just the kid. Now they brought the brother into the picture. See, they're doing this to red pill everybody to get them used to all this stuff. So when all these indictments start landing, people will understand why they were corrupt.
Yeah, and then Hunter took his brother's identity when he went on some trips, and he got caught.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. Back it up. What'd you say?
Hunter, you know, his brother died.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's Hunter? And his brother died, and then he was sleeping with his wife and everything. Anyway, he used his brother's identity on some trips and other things.
Well, and to get himself out of trouble when they, I think the story was, if I remember correctly, guys, I've slept since then, so don't quote me on this, but remember back when he turned in the rental car and they found the pipe on it? Well, it didn't have any fingerprints or anything on it. But in his efforts to get out of it, saying that, I can't remember what he told them, but somehow or another it was tied to the fact that he said that used his brother's identity, and the Secret Service knew about it to get himself out of trouble. It wasn't just a benign thing. It was that he did it. I can't remember
He
what
used
the
two different
circumstance
names.
was, but he did it to get out of trouble.
Oh,
It
okay.
happened
Yeah,
after the car incident.
Yeah, the article I was reading on the car, where he left it in the rental car, mentioned a lanyard. So I'm assuming he had some kind of like a security clearance thing because his brother was doing stuff. That's probably why he
He had
got
his
killed.
brother's, yeah, it was his brother's identity card.
But he left that thing behind in the car with the crack pipe.
Mm-hmm.
That
He did,
watched
and there's
over
Not
the-
he somehow used his dead brother's security name for Secret
Well,
Service.
I know
or
there were
something like that.
multiple IDs and that sort of thing, so I didn't realize that one of them was his brother's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's not the sharpest cheese on the cracker.
And I do love me some sharp cheese.
And one thing I'm on the fence right now is the what is his name? It's not Durham. Huber, the IG Huber report. Supposed to come out on all the Clinton Foundation stuff, and we're suddenly having all these leaks, and the media is reporting that he has found nothing on the Clinton Foundation and all that kind of crap.
That's not true.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
like they did
thinking
with
that they're
you.
trying to get ahead of the story.
They
And they're
are.
trying
Yes.
to put out false info. Because when it
They
comes out,
named it,
it's
and
devastating.
they quoted an unnamed source. We know where that's gone before.
Yeah.
We know they're desperate to try to stop everything. And my understanding was that everything from Huber went to Durham.
Yep.
Exactly.
So even if this one's whitewashed, Huber's got all the crap anyway, and he's the one with the criminal
But yeah,
capability.
I sent Phil a video. I think it's X22 reports, and he was reminding her. He goes, "Do you really think that after, I think it was ended up being 3 years, 2 or 3 years, up tons of money, 3 of those jetliners packed full, 2 or 3, I think it was maybe 2, jetliners packed full of stuff that he flew out there, and you really think he's found nothing? Really?" And they have not sent, that was just hearsay. They've not filed anything officially. So again, we need to just wait.
There's been no leaks. There's been no leaks.
Not one, and it's driving them crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, it'll cause chaos because on the Q boards, you know how those guys go out and they find all the evidence, and they literally document everything they do, and it's all there. I mean, I'd love to be a lawyer right now because all you'd have to do to go is one of the Q boards, find the name of whatever you're looking at, and boom, there's everything you need.
Uh-huh. It is. It's all technical now. I mean, the research is so much easier than it used to be.
One of the things that I'm hoping happens is that the evil media gets held accountable. They are just absolutely evil. What they're doing to people is, it just blows my mind. I mean, I feel sorry for the liberals who believe everything they're told. I mean, that Brian Stelter and what's his name, Chuck something or other, they're just, it's just lie after lie after lie. And you go, how can they do that? Other than the fact I'm sure they're paid a lot, but it's just, man, they got to live with that forever.
But see, I think the difference between us is we operate off of a set of morals and values and principles, and we think that the ends does not justify the means. To them, I don't think they have many morals and values, and they think that it does not matter the means. they'll do anything to accomplish what they want. Lie, cheat, steal. We've seen it all.
Have
Unfortunately.
you seen the last two episodes of Abe's Bazaar? Have any of you seen those?
I have not.
Mm-mm.
You really
No.
need to check him out. He's got Art Bell and Father Malachi Martin, who's an exorcist, and they're both gone now. But I think this interview that they did with one another was back in like the 90s, and it's really interesting. And he and James are going through this interview and they're discussing it, and it's like so pertinent to what's going on today because Father Malachi Martin talks about Satanism and what people do to be part of the Luciferian cult. And
I saw that. It's very interesting.
Really interesting because it sort of ties everything together. If you guys get a chance, watch that. It's really really interesting. And
Still
next week, I
continuing.
think
They're not done.
Yeah, they're not done.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, catch up, and then I think this next Wednesday they're gonna really hit some really heavy stuff. So I'm looking forward to that one. It'll be good.
Plus, it was really interesting too on one of Abe's personal scopes, not one he does with James, where he just scopes directly every day. He had he does call-ins, and he had a person with multiple personalities, 4 people.
Wait, who had this? Was Abe?
Yeah, Abe. And that was very interesting. The person could switch between people and talk, and she talked about there's 2 guys and 2 girls in that combo, but it was very interesting. You can imagine.
I bet that would be Sybil.
And the person had never really come out online or anywhere before, and the person really got into it because it was like a relief. She was saying, just to be able to talk about it to people, because nobody in there was being judgmental or anything. We were all pretty interesting and asking questions and talking and treating her like a real person. So it was that's probably my favorite scope that I've seen ever of Abe's, other than anything with Buddy.
That would be interesting. People probably don't even remember the movie Sybil now with
I do, yeah.
Lion Nun, remember?
And the people, and the people, and the people, and the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came up. So that did come up some in the scope too.
Yeah, but see, the younger generations probably don't even know about that. It was Sally. What's her name? The Flying Nun. What's her name?
Fields.
She was Sybil. I think that was what got her chops in the real serious genre after Flying Nun and all that stuff. So
I pay way too much attention to politics, because when you were trying to think of her name, the only name that was coming to me was Yates.
I know, me too. Because I cannot bear that woman.
I need to
another one that's
expand my horizon.
Yeah.
Who?
Sally Yates.
Yeah.
And has anybody
Hey, Ziggy24
heard
just
an
followed.
update on that
Hey,
mean little man that was in the IRS? Is he still there?
What mean little man?
They're in the
Lois Lerner?
IRS. She could pass for one.
Michelle Obama?
Yeah. The man that ran the snotty, arrogant ass man.
As
Yeah.
I'm the ass man.
You're describing a lot of people.
Too.
Let me see if I can Google that real quick. Snotty,
Ass man,
arrogant
too,
ass man. Let's
Are
see
you
what we
talking about
get.
Peter Strzok?
It's gonna come up with my name.
No, I'm talking about he ran the IRS. He was with Lois Lerner and them targeting the conservatives.
Oh.
Phil should know. He was
Are you talking about
targeted.
the one that did in the Tea
I
Party?
name.
That was Lois Lerner. That was the main focus of the Tea Party
No,
issues.
this guy testified after her. He was over her, I think, or took over after her, maybe. What was his name? Guys in the chat, come on.
Come on, chat
Somebody out
people.
there, help me. Rusty, don't you know?
Come through for us, people.
Milliken?
My chat
No.
quit working.
It's an I
Rusty.
name. It's an I name. Somebody query that for me.
An I name.
I'm gonna have to get out. My chat quit working.
It has eyes in it or something.
I can duck go it if you'll tell me what to type in.
The IRS man.
The ass man.
IRS ass man.
The IRS man is
The
probably
mean IRS man. Milliken? No, Milliken.
There was a Milliken.
No, it wasn't Milliken.
Yeah, I'm second guessing.
You know who I'm talking about. I think you've got it.
Rusty's gonna look.
Go, Rusty, go.
I'm sorry, guys. My allergies are going crazy. Oh, wasn't Milliken? Oh,
Well, here's what comes up whenever I see the IRS ass man. It says, fuck you, IRS, fuck you, and the IRS ass. I'm not saying the IRS cannot make mistakes, but for Christ's sake, if I make another mother effing mistake, I get penalized, sued, my wages are levied or garnished, or I'm jailed. The fucking IRS.
He was head of the IRS.
Stephen Miller was in charge of the IRS at the time.
No.
Yes.
Steve Miller.
Joseph Grant.
Steve
Miller's on our side.
The people that quit. No, Stephen T. Miller. Different Stephen Miller.
Not the white
No,
nationalist.
okay, now who's after him?
Joseph
There's a
Grant
comic.
and Lois Lerner. I don't know who succeeded Stephen Miller.
You people, come on.
Stephen Miller, the guy who has the band.
Oh, yes,
That's what I was saying.
Stephen Miller band. Woo, that's my day, honey. IRS. Oh, it flashed through my mind for just a minute. Head.
I hate that. Head. Now you're thinking about head.
Hey, get your mind out of the gutter now.
Just don't type in ass and head at the same time, because you know. But one thing I did learn is that people feel very strongly about the IRS. Koskinen, yeah, there is a name. I do recognize that name.
I don't
Koskinen, remember the little, he was the hateful, oh, he was so tacky. He was so hateful to him when they were questioning him and stuff. Remember in Trey Gowdy?
How long ago are you talking about? How long ago are you talking about? This year, last year, the year before?
Last few years. I was typing in the wrong spot. Hang on. Can we pull up Koskinen testifying? I'm gonna look it up. Hang on. He testified, and he was so arrogant and demeaning, and I mean, just made you love to hate that man.
All right, we're working on a 2008.
Oh, kind of like Rosenstein.
Yes, and Stroke.
I wonder what's going to happen with Rod Rosenstein. I'd like to see that guy go too.
Koskinen highlights.
I'm waiting.
That's not who I was thinking of. There's a hockey player named Hoskinen too, I guess.
I want to know why you called him an ass man. Was it because he was just being an ass?
Yeah, because he's an ass. I was going to say something worse, and I was trying to catch myself.
Not for the same reasons we call Scott an ass man.
Oh, and I'm sorry.
Hashtag no homo.
Thanks, gentlemen. And
I hate to say that. We're not going to say that, but
Thank
you
you,
know
Mr. Chairman.
the
I
new
thank the
department,
witnesses.
not to demean him or make him feel like a sex object or anything, but that new Homeland Security guy, woo! Now he isn't too bad to look at.
Now, who's this you're talking about?
I cannot be the only one who has noticed it. And did you not see
He's got dark hair? Dark hair,
yes,
right?
black. Very,
yeah.
I think he's got black hair and he had the stubble. Ooh.
Yeah.
For who? For
I can't remember his name.
Well,
DM me.
Just in case you're wondering. I think I remember his name is Wolf.
Well, we've got Ivanka and Melania, so that's all.
Oh, we know. We've heard about him, so I just thought I would turn the tables for a change.
Oh, Phil, could you look in the group? When I was watching the rally the other night, I was watching it on PBS. And anyway, so when President Trump starts doing that thing about pointing in the back at the fake media, and the crowd goes nuts, and he says, these people back there, they lie, they're fake. And there's a guy right behind him over his right shoulder that flips off the media right there on national television. I took a screenshot and I put it in the show host group. It's hilarious. I think I want to go back and do a whole clip of it from start to finish. Get the whole thing, because he did it for a while. I did 30 seconds flipping them off.
I was so bummed I couldn't go. Toledo is only 40 miles from me, but nobody would go with me. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to stand out in the cold, especially when I was, feeling all this sinus junk going on, and I figured I'd be like really messed up by the time I got
really
done.
sick by then.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, that would have been so much fun. I worked 2 blocks from there, so it was like I knew that whole area, and that vast crowd was amazing. It was standing outside afterward, that couldn't get in. I couldn't believe the number of people.
That time lapse video from the start to the finish.
That one too.
About a minute and a half.
It was amazing.
And that was time lapse, just going quick. Boom, boom, boom. It was
Ohio,
huge.
Ohio's gonna crush it for the president. Ohio's gonna crush it.
So I open up the room, and the first thing I see is NBC News: for transgender men, pain of menstruation is more than just physical. Who the hell posted that in there?
Grandma, of course.
That might have been me.
Oh,
there's a pretty good chance.
I gotta put this up for the audience here, right? They gotta see this.
I would like to go on record that the pain of menstruation is much more than physical. I will agree with him on that.
I do agree with that too.
For transgender
I will
men,
too, but not for a guy.
Guy.
Here you go.
Me and my fake period are so awful.
You know what blows my mind?
This is from NBC News.
College. Oh, you gonna do it?
I got it up on the screen.
Let me go over to Periscope.
Safety concerns and lack of access to menstruation products are among the issues trans and gender non-conforming people face during that time of the month.
Okay, all right. So let's just back up for a second. If you're transgender man, does that mean that you were a woman and now you're a man?
That's why you would menstruate.
Yeah, well, there's people who never had ovaries who think they menstruate. So when we're talking about a transgender man, this man has ovaries, like actual ovaries.
He does, but he's had an addictomy.
Addictomy?
Addictomy?
You almost got me there. I was like, okay, well, now what's an addictomy?
Didn't take me long to figure that one out.
It took me a second.
Reminds me when we were talking about the subject, how on college campuses, how the girls in a dorm, after they're there like 2 months, all of their periods coincide for the same time.
That is not a myth for sure.
So apparently this
stay away from those dorms 1 month of the week, a month, or 1 week of the month, definitely.
Apparently this
it's not the
transgendered man is upset that the packaging is for women's health.
Oh,
says,
I
see. And is in pink and is pretty looking. That the packaging is not for women that think they're men. He's upset.
So he wants more masculine tampon boxes.
Well, she still has the female body parts. Just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
But isn't a guy.
And she really does look like a guy. I give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she just wants tampon boxes for boys.
Yeah.
They wanted it all taken off, referring to women and stuff. And one of them, I read an article recently, acquiesced and took it off. So now the box doesn't say that it's for women.
Well, the problem is you're not really a woman yet, because you still got, or man, you still have
You'll be a woman.
you still have the parts, right?
You know, all that pisses me off. Guys participating in women's sports and kicking their ass. I mean, all
Oh,
that shit just.
I'm boycotting the Olympics over that. I refuse. I
Is the
refuse to give
Olympics
in
going
to
to
them.
allow it?
They're allowing it. Yep.
Oh, I thought they weren't.
Yep.
I didn't
Nope,
read that
they
were.
are. And
That's
I'm
so
giving
wrong.
them up, and that's my favorite. The Olympics is absolutely my favorite, and I am not going to participate in their crazy. Just not. They can
I'll
kiss
watch the
my
golf.
grits. And that what's her name, Rapino, or whatever her name is, the soccer girl.
Soccer bitch.
Yeah, they told them that they can't make any political declarations and stuff. And
That's what I read
said,
about.
we're gonna do whatever we want to do, or something. You can't stop us, kind of thing. She's again. Everybody on their side is so nasty and hateful. What is their problem? Why do they grow? Just what makes them? Does their mom pee in their post toasties every morning, or what? That they all grow up to be such mean, nasty, vitriolic people that never liked America. Well, I'm sorry. Go live somewhere else and represent somebody else, because I don't want somebody like that representing our country.
Wouldn't it be great if they enforce it though and kick her out and she can't play?
It would be great. And to be honest with you, I will not even be happy if the soccer team wins. I will, because she has, with all of her little buddies up there, they have all infiltrated the whole team. And the one girl that was a Christian that didn't acquiesce to them, they got her thrown off the team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because she
I
would
read
play
that
ball
too.
with
It was
their
sad.
mean girls group. I don't like any of them, and I wouldn't cheer. And I hope they lose. I'm just sorry. That's what I think. So sorry.
Tigress,
like that.
Tigress says, "I don't need more masculine tampons."
Well, that wouldn't bode comfort to me.
I mean, what's next? Are they going to do it to toothpaste or something?
Oh Lord!
Like you got to have a transgender toothpaste?
Well, we all have the same teeth, don't we? They're like, those parts are the same, right?
They can figure something out.
That's true.
You know what
The
we should do?
vampires.
This? We should
You know, the vampires.
outfit every boys team, men's team, with wigs, and send them over there and just wipe them out in the Olympics, and then they'll change it.
That's
Cycling,
a great idea.
everything, just baseball, softball. Just go get the Yankees, give them a bunch of wigs, and go, "You're going to play softball today against the women," and just crush them.
Today
Yeah,
you
they-
identify as a woman. Period. Yeah.
Can y'all see Tiger
Period.
Woods and,
No
and
pun
the
intended.
wig, or
Yeah.
Tiger Woods and some of the other guys? Yep, that'll look good.
Oh, golf? You want to play golf against the women? We'll give Tiger Woods
Yeah.
a weave and send him over there and go, okay,
Oh,
gold, USA, here we go.
with no handicaps. Everybody starts off equal at the very same place.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We'd kill him.
It's a brilliant
Yeah, it
idea,
was-
Phil.
It's really kind of like way back in the 80s when Russia and China started cheating in the Olympics, you know, because before it was only amateurs and all that kind of crap. And now you've got all these, you know, that's when they started sending these 12-foot tall people, you know, the Russians, and they're kicking our ass.
Oh, the Russians had some women that looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a wig.
Yeah. Finally, we got tired of it, and we sent our dream team in and kicked their ass.
Yeah, we'll just outfit the Lakers with wigs, the Yankees with wigs, and send them over there.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
I mean, what are rules anymore anyway?
No
If you
kidding.
identify as something, you get to be that. Don't you?
Or if they could just go ahead and identify as gold medal winners and be done
I
with it.
tried telling my banker that the other day. I identified as rich.
I'm looking at the chat.
I have a lot more money in my account than I do. Would you please honor that check?
I like the comment in the chat from StoneQuest. Tigress Wood.
Tigress wood.
That's even,
Oh,
I have on an unrelated note, but I have a customer and she's got one of those little pocket pigs, and she takes him up to the office all the time. And guess what his name is?
What?
Oh, hang on. Pig Floyd. Oh no,
Pig Floyd?
Pig Floyd.
That's my
That's
favorite
funny.
group ever.
Pig Floyd.
Now you've stained their name.
We're going to send over Michelle
reminds me-
Jordan. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Michelle Jackson, basketball player.
Yes, Tigress. They need tampons. These men or women that think they're men need tampons.
However they want to identify. Did y'all see that? There was some cops pulled over a guy in a HOV lane. It was just him by himself. He said he identified as someone with multiple personalities.
I saw that. That was too funny.
That's brilliant.
If you're a woman that wants to be a man, and you're having problems with, sorry, I had to go into my little refrigerator that my son bought me for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And you're a woman that just, if you want to be a man, be a man. Put some duct tape on it. Right? All men put.
Yeah.
I get a cut. I just wrap it in some duct tape. That's all, and move on.
Oh, I use super glue.
TMI.
I don't think you can super glue it.
I mean, I think you
What
could.
kind if you put super glue over it? It doesn't let air in it, so it doesn't hurt as bad. That's what they say. I don't know if
We're talking
Kinda hard,
about the bottom region of women that think they're men, Doc. You can't super glue
Oh, I'm
that.
Kinda
sorry.
hard
I was
to
looking at something else. I was sending you. I sent you something in Telegram but you'd have to fast forward to see what I was talking about, just so y'all can actually picture it. Just saying.
I'll tell you, this is one of those moments that we only do on Speakeasy.
Uh-oh.
This is back when I was in high school, and in football, I got injured down there. Got hit.
On the
And it
field,
was hurt.
down there on the field, or down there?
I was on
on
the
the
field,
field?
and I was on the field playing football. I was a receiver, went up for a catch.
I'm going to give everybody a hint in D-Live where you got injured.
He got hit in the twigs and berries, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy and the
They caught me
twins took
right
it.
in my manhood. Well, so here I am in pain.
Frank and beans.
Frank and beans.
Okay? So here
Oh
here
my
I
gosh. I've never
here I
heard
am in
that
pain,
before.
right? I'm hurting. So I'm at home in bed. And I say, oh, fuck it. Because I always have back problems and stuff. Put icy hot on it. I put
Oh,
icy
no,
hot
no,
on
no.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
that was
not
a
good.
bad choice.
That sounds
Bad move.
incredibly ill-advised.
I was in the bathtub with the water running so fast.
I bet. I bet you were.
And I was yelling. My mom comes running in there. Get in the bathtub with my legs hanging up on the ceiling, trying to get that little faucet to hit me there.
Praying for
exactly are we
mercy.
looking at?
I bet at that moment you
What do you
thought
really
about
want?
possibly becoming a
Well, I mean,
trans
is it
man.
the
Oh, yeah.
Becoming a eunuch.
or the
Yeah.
Cut it off!
Take
Cut
it, Lord,
off!
take it. I don't want it anymore.
There's no crying in football.
Hit me low.
That's too funny. Okay, Phil, did you see that video I sent you?
I didn't look yet.
I thought you were sitting over there just.
You hadn't found my picture of the guy flipping off behind the president yet either there.
Hey, I do want to say something to all the mega people out there. If you're going to sit behind POTUS, realize that you have a responsibility. You have beat out lots of patriots that would like to be right where you're sitting. So if you're going to sit behind our wonderful POTUS at one of his rallies for God and the world to see, use some manners. Don't pick your nose, act right. Excuse me, saying. Be a good representative. And don't be so busy typing him that you don't even. He came over and was talking to a lady and was doing something, and she wouldn't even put her phone down to look at him. I was going, oh my gosh, what a waste, when I would jump whatever invisible wall they have there.
She was probably so busy letting everybody know what a wonderful position she had in the rally.
I know
She didn't enjoy the
moment.
rally itself.
She
Yeah.
missed the moment. Oh
Yep.
my dear gosh, what I would not give. If POTUS was right there, I don't care if they had a barrier or not, I'd be jumping over it. Oh,
That's ill-advised.
Yes, it is. So I keep reminding y'all, keep your bail money. I'm going to need it one of these days. I have got to have my pillows in my bed. I'm very high maintenance that way.
Hey, I want to talk about General Flynn.
Oh, well, okay.
We gotta, I'm freaked out. I want something to happen before the 28th of January when he's sentenced. I don't know what. I mean, something big needs to happen because
I think it'll be put off again, personally.
You think so? I mean, his whole family is tweeting out now. It's like, please pardon him. Please. I mean, it's like so hard to see. It's so hard to see it.
But I mean, worst case scenario though, it's 6 months, and they'll probably give him time already served. So, I mean, in reality, nothing's happened. Right? He needs his name cleared, and I think that will happen in the end, even if this does go through, because of all the other stuff that's going to come out in these other trials.
I mean, you know, when you figure you got the guy who said he lied about the 302s, and I mean, it's like those guys are still walking around. McCabe, Comey, they're all. I mean, it's like this is not right. This is not right. The whole thing.
Plus, I think they're doing it for a reason, though. For what's happening, Trump and the Q team want us outraged.
Well,
and
I'm
it's
there.
happened.
Well, and they did say that they would free Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, because
I think he's going to be vindicated. I think he's going to be totally exonerated and vindicated. It just breaks your heart, though, because there's nothing that will take away, even if he knew he was part of a plan, you know that's got to have caused duress on him. And there isn't anything that will ever give that wear and tear on a chicken's ass back to you.
And the money. Sell his house.
Well, you're wondering, Kimmy. They'll say the wear and tear on a chicken's ass, and my chicken is bald.
What are you doing to your chicken?
Choking it.
Me and Grandma think alike.
Well, Grandma, I think y'all are confusing me with that man that needs a tampon. I'm sorry, I don't have a chicken to choke. Do I not look feminine enough? Do I need to?
No, it's just
do I need to be out some long hair or something?
Doc, what did you want me to find in Telegram? Scott, I can't find your thing, so
I sent you a video.
I'll drop it again.
I want you to go to it and scroll forward until you find Chad Wolf, where y'all can appreciate what I was saying. Well, the girls can anyway. You guys won't, but the girls will.
All right, Phil, I just dropped it in the room. It's the very first one you'll see when you get in there.
See, we just order a Phil around. I dropped this for you. I dropped that for you.
I know.
But, back to General Flynn.
Dropping the ball there, Phil.
The whole thing with General Flynn, if you think about the FISA stuff, if it was, any court of law, if a warrant was brought on a falsity, they would throw it out. Mm-hmm. So all the charges that became from the false FISA would be thrown out with it. And that's the thing that's just blowing my mind, is why isn't all this crap just thrown right out? Why isn't it just gone? Because it should be.
Well, and why is that judge been able to get away with being cantankerous like that?
And remember, the head judge I'm not talking about the Supreme Court, John, that's over them, but I'm talking about within the FISA court itself. Yeah, not Roberts. I'm talking about within the court itself. That lady,
the one that
Sawyer
stepped
or
down?
something like that. Yeah, she stepped down, and that's just kind of coincidental.
Right.
And then he appointed some
everyone,
other
Chris
guy.
I think the court knew.
Yeah, but the Obama guy, remember, Barr was a Bush guy. So, I mean, there was, from some of the things I've heard, I can't spit it out, I'm sorry, I can't regurgitate it right now, but from some of the things I heard, they are thinking that this one might be a little bit more cooperative than the one that stepped down. Just saying. I heard and read some stuff about it, but I'm sorry, I can't regurgitate it right now. But we need to revisit that. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Was my kind of point roundabout. Sorry guys, I didn't do very good with that one.
All right, Phil, I just dropped the tuna one too.
I'm working on something else. Guys, I can only do one at a time here. Sorry.
Oh,
Come on,
really?
Phil.
We thought you could multitask like us girls.
Thought you were.
Oh, I
Well, while
cannot
you're doing that,
multitask.
I'll bring up one of the other stories I have here.
I do it all
Sure,
the time. I didn't say it did it good.
I'm sure y'all probably saw this, but the Glacier
Well,
National Park.
Scott, before you do that, we want to do something for somebody that's a friend of the show and always gives us a shout out. So I'm trying to find something here real quick.
Yeah, I was going to talk while you were looking for it.
I'm playing something right now.
Da, 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 da.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. To you.
And that is for our buddy Chris Mack. Happy birthday, Chris Mack.
Hello, everyone. Chris McDonald, the Mac Files broadcast. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to listen every Monday through Friday night from 10 to 11 p.m. on Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube, Twitch, Switch, and other outlets that we're adding every day. Podbean as well. Mac Files is a nightly broadcast of conservative talk, interviews, and encouragement from the realm of the president, to make the community, to the realm of faith, and deep state politics, trying to expose darkness, expose pedophilia, expose the occult ties to our nation, and also bring encouragement to those that need encouragement in this last hour. The Mac Files will not disappoint with each guest we have. They bring a wide range, variety of information and inspiring talk right here every night, Monday through Friday, from 10 to 11. We also have a pirate radio show at 11:30 for the late nighters on Friday night, and a faith show on Sunday morning called Sunday Morning Meeting Time, and our Sunday night faith chat with a guest of faith each week to discuss the issues concerning the church and America.
John.
We encourage you to watch us. We encourage you to be with us each night for these shows, and we appreciate your support both financially and otherwise. PayPal.me/TheMacFiles, Patreon.com/TheMacFiles is a way to support us financially.
All right,
So we appreciate you coming in, supporting the show. Thank you for the text, encouraging letters, and comments we get each week. And we invite you again to be with us every Monday through Friday night, 10 p.m., Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube, The Mac Files. Join us each night. Looking for you each night here on The Mac Files.
I was playing Chris's commercial. I don't think you could hear it, but
I don't see it.
You can't hear anything you play.
I don't see it coming up on Periscope, though. Is it just audio only? Because I don't have the volume up, so I don't get reverb.
I see Abe's Bizarre.
Why, just a commercial? It's commercial.
Yeah,
I just played this commercial. It's not a video. It's a sound bite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So it was sound only.
We can't. When you play things, we don't get to hear it. It doesn't come.
I can only see it. Yeah.
Let me try.
I've got my iPad, but I can't turn it up or we'll get reverb.
Let me try. Let me see if you can hear this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the witnesses for testifying here today. It's some pretty fascinating perspectives that I'm hearing. I'd go first to Mr. Darby, and I want to make sure that I was listening carefully.
Okay.
We got that new system. Alarm sound bite, Chrissy's thing. Well, guys, on an unrelated note, what does everybody think about Nancy's having to turn over the articles of impeachment the next 25 days because Ms. McConnell signed what was it, the Housley or Hawley?
Trial.
Christy said.
Stop all sound.
Must be bad what they're hearing.
Is it gone?
It says, now we hear reverb, everyone
Really
at the same
bad.
time.
Make the evil voice in my head stop. Stop
Well,
this
it's not me. I was just on mute. So everybody go one at a time on mute. I just did mine and y'all said it was still going on. So it's not me.
On the system.
Now?
All right. People in the chat or whatever, can you hear it? Denise is muted right now.
Well, somebody's got to
Make the
talk.
evil-
Otherwise, I don't know what's going on.
They're all
Well,
leaving
I will
because
talk.
it sounds like outer space.
No, there's no
They said
sound.
it's very bad. Tigress is saying it's better. They said it was very bad.
Oh, Queen
Talkie,
Snow
talkie, talk,
Bunny,
talk.
I'm leaving too.
I'm going to
Sounds
go
like
mute.
we're in outer space.
Yeah, they're saying it's back to normal.
Sorry, Queen Snow Bunny.
Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry.
You didn't hear my wonderful poem.
Read it again. It was good.
Poetry night is Speakeasy.
I just went on Periscope and right now it's sounding fine. So I don't know what it was before.
Yeah, they're saying it's
Back to normal.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's
Oh.
good now, but it was really bad. So I don't know what it was.
I'm so very sorry.
Dawn said his voice is in her head. Yay, Queen Snow Bunny, she's stuck with us. Hot Rod,
Snow Bunny says, "Make the evil voices in my head stop."
I can hear Paula's ding. What's that?
Oh, it says YouTube is perfect.
Yep, so is Periscope now. So whatever it was, we fixed it. Please, people, don't leave us.
Thank you, Phil. To go back and listen to it to see what it was like.
Yeah, I want to go back too. I've never seen that kind of responses in chat.
I know they're all going. You're not seeing us. I was seeing you.
Is it still echoing, Northwester?
Can't be.
I didn't hear any echo when I was in there, but
Christy says it sounded like a bad sci-fi movie. No, I think it's okay now. It was like Chinese 5G torture. We are sorry, guys. Glad y'all stuck with us.
Yes, thank you for staying.
Yeah. Okay, my story I've been trying to get to forever. We got a little
go right
pause
ahead
here. Now the Glacier National Park. They're upgrading their signs. See, they had it said, let's see, National Park in Montana informing visitors that the park's glaciers would fully melt by 2020 due to man-made climate change. So they're having to change their signs out. It's 2020, and the glaciers are still there.
In fact, there's one that they've been saying was getting smaller, and it's actually growing.
Yeah. But that's funny that they actually had these signs, and you're standing there, it's 2020, and it's like, these are going to be gone.
Well, then there was a story in a British newspaper today that said that obese people are now polluting more, and I can't remember what it was, but it was like if you put all the obese people in a football stadium, it would be like they emit as much carbon dioxide as the entire country of Sweden. I don't remember the story. I read it. Just kind of give you an idea, but it's like, oh my God, now they're going after obese people.
They're like worse than cows, apparently.
I want to know what my freaking cousin, who's pretty obese, who is like a climate freak, what she's gonna do, because that's gonna cause her some real discontent.
I mean, there's a little truth there. I mean, I've heard some big people really let one rip. I never light a cigarette when I'm standing behind a fat person. Sorry. It's one of the rule of things, some things, you know.
Oh, seriously, my cousin, who is a geologist, just freaks out every time I talk to her. She's like, climate change this, climate change that, and it's like, don't. What do you know about it? She goes, I'm a scientist. I said, you're a geologist. What does it have to do with climate change?
Have y'all seen that software program that guy put together? It's on whatfinger.com. They've kept it there now. They're keeping it permanent. And he literally goes through and shows all the data and how they fixed it by finding the lowest point. I mean, it was really high and it goes down, and the lowest point, highest point for them, it's backwards on the graph. And that's where they started their study from. So ignored everything else. And then that went right back up. It was just a very small period when it went down like that. And it's showing how they lie, because they use the data starting at that point instead of taking into account all the other data. Really pissing me off.
All of the what is it when they give them a grants and everything is all tied only to people that will give them data that supports their global warming or climate change theories. It won't support anything else. So they've got to, they're trying to make their data match it. And they went on the other day and was saying that so much of it they could never reproduce. So it's all
freaking cult. It's a cult.
and they've been threatened. There's a lot of scientists that have been threatened even. There was a deep dive that they did on Patriot Subbox on it one time, and it was very eye-opening. They've had a lot of people come out now that are trying to sound the alarm, but the lefties lock, that whole sector down. If you're going to be a scientist, you got to agree with them, or you don't get any money, any funding, or any positions on any of the universities. So, crook cranny as usual. Can't get it. The can't
How dare you? How dare you?
To get it.
I mean, common sense is just in lack today. So many people.
It's a superpower. Let's just call it spade a spade. It's a superpower these days.
Yeah. Whoa! What'd you do there? Everything went crazy.
It's okay. What? I'm just trying to figure out how to get the audio for clips.
Oh, Christy sends the echo is
the impeachment of President Clinton.
Okay.
Was it your assertion that the Senate rejected the House impeachment resolution?
Echo.
Shouldn't be now.
Sorry, what I was saying, Congressman, was
is it okay?
This committee approved 4 articles.
Everything all right?
Just keep talking.
It's okay now. Yeah, it's okay now. It went crazy. It went crazy when I said something about everything went crazy. So whatever you did in the boxes all went nuts. That's when the sound went nuts too. So it's fine now.
Chat is echoing, although we're on delay. So.
And just to tell the people in the chat, sometimes it's hard on us because the chat's running about 20 to 30 seconds behind us. So we say something, but y'all don't hear it until 30 seconds later, and then it takes you a minute to write it out and comment. And so we're seeing comments that are 45 to a minute old after we've said something. So
it's pretty tough to listen to. I'll say that.
Shouldn't be there now.
Let me go check.
You're getting major echo.
Right now would probably be a good time for me to yodel. Oh, see,
yeah, it was echoing through my whole thing. I just said all y'all.
So bad.
Stop talking.
It's echoing. Let me go back.
Should be okay now. It's gonna go crazy for a second.
Oh, it does sound cool with a yodel echo. Yodel echo.
Renee, take your meds. Really, we're not echoing at all.
Definitely still echo. That yodel was hilarious with the echo. It was awesome.
Christy said stop.
Okay, I've got to say this that I'm hearing right now is by far the best show I've ever heard on Periscope.
That would probably be a good time for me to yodel.
On all of Periscope.
Of course.
Hasn't caught up yet. It's going to be a few minutes.
Okay, echo's gone now. Echo's gone.
Your yodeling rocked.
Yeah.
The yodeling was what did it.
My yodeling broke it. Yeah, it
best show ever.
Now it's working.
Mindy Robinson, on an earlier note, tweeted out today, Gwyneth Paltrow came out with a $75 Kindle called "This Smells Like My Vagina." So what do you think? What do you guys think it smells like? She says, "I'm going with kale and turtle water."
Phil,
I think that was pretty funny.
Kale and turtle water.
Phil, bring up my meme. It's right there in one of the first 2 things in there. It's hilarious.
Did you launch it?
What happens?
I've got the live show in my left ear and the Periscope in my right ear, and I just heard your joke again, and it's just as funny the second time.
Is your
Okay,
it's about
sound is good.
20 seconds. Yeah.
Sound is good. All right.
I know. Hot Rod Girl goes, ew, vagina cam. We're going, yeah, we feel that way too. Hey, Miss Sandra.
Makes sound great again.
What was that about a vagina cam?
Candle.
Oh, candle.
No, not a cam.
Oh, no,
Get your mind
You know there's a vagina cam. You know there has to be.
Well, we got 3 empty boxes below us. I thought maybe, I don't know.
What did you say?
I was waiting for something to come up on one of those 3 empty boxes.
He's hoping someone's got a vagina cam in one of the 3 boxes in the box.
Oh, Lord.
Put one under him.
The one under him?
Yeah.
He'll be going like,
They're saying we sound awesome now. Yeah, you can actually have fun with those boxes under us, like putting bodies down that look like they're ours, but they're naked or something.
Hi, Sandra.
all right, if that ever happens, it better be a good body.
Sandra.
I love our president. And y'all, I do have to correct something we talked about on Mega Promises, Kev. I called, I said that POTUS tweeted in, what is the language over there? Yeah, really, it's Persian. It's Persian.
Farsi?
Yes, Farsi. It was in Farsi. And he said, to the brave, long-suffering people of Iran, I've stood with you since the beginning of my presidency, and my administration will continue to stand with you. We are following your protests closely and are inspired by your courage. Don't you love it?
I love him. And he was
remember.
catching flack for that. He had 200,000 likes on that.
Wait, he's way over.
Way
like
over that
100
now?
million. He had, they came out and said it is the most retweeted tweet that's in Farsi ever.
Exactly.
Ever.
Really?
Tweet ever.
Okay, so here's my question to you. I've got my own answer, but I'm not giving you my answer yet. How is this different? Him tweeting in Farsi to speak to the people of Iran. How is that different than the Democrat nominees? That's the word. The Democrat nominees speaking, or Jeb Bush back in the 2016 election, speaking Spanish to
Beto.
Very different, because he's speaking to the people of Iran over in another country. He's speaking to them in their language. They were speaking to a certain segment of Americans that were Hispanic, and the official language here is English. So that to me was the difference.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. A lot of people are bringing that up.
I might put Hillary's speech in African American in that group.
I know ways, Tard.
Yeah, I know ways, Tard. I mean, God, I can't believe she did that.
Or Elizabeth Warren's most recent speech. Hi, yeah, 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 hi, yeah, yeah, yeah. That is actually the original American language. If it hadn't been for us dirty colonialists.
The funniest thing to me in the past month, though, was that one of the little Asian guy. Which one is he on the Democratic presidential?
Yang,
is it? Squirting the
whipped cream.
God, what is that? Yeah, whipped cream. They get on their knees. It's like a pearl necklace he's doing.
Unbelievable.
Putting it in their mouth. I mean, my God.
That was
ridiculous.
unbelievable.
I mean, the sexual innuendos there.
that is called an absolute lack of self-awareness.
Yes.
No heterosexual man.
But thank God for a lack of self-awareness, because it is so fun to laugh at them people. People. I love laughing at them people.
What they're really about.
Yeah.
Christy says, pull my yang, why don't you? Oh, that's
Oh, he's got it on the screen now. That
Oh, there it is. There it is.
for those of you who can't afford the real thing, I found a decent
Fuck off. That is.
Oh yeah, he's got my picture on the screen now, the one with the tuna can.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
You're amongst friends. Spit it out, girl.
I don't go around sniffing vaginas, so I don't have a lot of experience in evaluating what happens when you sniff one, right? But
that's good.
I can say that I find it surprising that they're supposed to smell like tuna or fish or salmon or trout or.
Because they're identifying as Pocahontas.
Oh, believe me, I can back up. I can back up the claim.
Well, I guess they're not washing their winkies.
Something is happening because I can say I back check balls. All I'm saying.
Yeah, but you only got one person to compare it to. I've got multiple.
Well, we don't want to hear about your TMI.
College escapades.
No.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
And I can definitely back it up. Believe it.
La 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 la.
And by the way, everybody,
that one friend that makes everything dirty.
And did y'all see that Phil has? Did y'all see that Phil has my tweet up the picture now on Periscope? Have y'all seen it yet?
Yes, we see it.
That's what got us talking about it, darling.
Yeah, isn't that hilarious though?
We've already covered it about 20 seconds ago.
I thought whoa. Yeah, I thought that was based on the comments on the chat because it came up.
No,
I didn't know you saw the picture.
Oh, this is good. Remember when you see photos of Iranian protesters risking their lives for freedom, they are fighting a regime empowered by billions of dollars from one Barack Obama.
No, even more so than that, because the Iranian, from what I'm understanding, I'm trying to learn shit. From what I'm understanding, Iran, their government was not just funded by Barack Obama a few years ago. It was in like the CIA, the Mossad, the other people, like they're the ones who are responsible for the Iranian Revolution that got them in the place that they're even in to begin with. They've been a false state for years.
79.
Yes, well, and I even
when they overthrew the Shah.
Well, and I even heard that it had started in 53. I haven't looked into it enough. I'm trying to learn some stuff, but Piper wants to play and John hurt his back, so he needs me to help him stretch. People don't understand. I got shit to do. But
special touching.
No special touching. Is that what you said?
Well, well, she did say she's going to go stretch John, so I'm wondering there.
That's what he calls it. The
twigs and berries.
That's his special word for it. Come stretch me, baby.
But like they were just trucking along having a country, and then all of a sudden, whoever started the CIA and whoever those people took them over. And so what I'm thinking is that what we're seeing is the systematic destruction of the old guard, and that Iran, as a country as it currently is today, is not what Iranians want it to be, and it's not what they would have had we not interfered to begin with. So what I'm hoping is that we're going to, in as much as possible, undo the damage that we, America, did to them, because we fucked them up. We have to admit that
Yeah, they
And
were
it's
like
time,
us.
and they
35
need to
years
get unfucked. And I think that
Actors in that, it wasn't just us. If you go back and research,
oh sure,
yeah,
but we are the strongest ones.
it was definitely. And if you go back to when the Shah was in power before '79, I mean, you know, they wore bikinis, they were a lot more.
Yeah.
They were much more westernized. No, they don't want to be stuck in burqas. Now all they get to see through is little blinds, little slits in their burqa things, you know. And you're going, that is no life. That is no life. But you know, there was a thing that came out today saying that. Did you get that reverb? Am I echoing?
Yeah.
I think there is an echo. Yeah, it's in your mic. I don't know if it's on the show or not.
But
they banned strap-on, so
you posted that. Remember,
right.
if you're a Q reader, that Iran was next, and I really think it goes back to them being in cahoots with, you know, Kerry's been over there, Obama's going to be. I think there's going to be a whole lot more come out about all their ties to Iran.
CIA. CIA has fucked every country in the Middle East, and we're the ones responsible for all of it.
Not just the Middle East. Yeah,
and not just there.
They did.
All of
stuff on the border, all the cartels, all CIA back.
Yeah.
North Korea.
Well, and so my question is, okay, like I'm with Boogie. Like I want us out. I'm with Boogie and most of everybody else. I don't mean to say just him. Like I want us out, but I think where he and I depart is he thinks that we can have like a sudden complete removal of all of us at one time. And I think that just creates a vacuum in which something else will be filled. So what I'm hoping is the case is that we are, I want us, okay, I want us out completely, like not a single American there that's getting paid to be there because
get us out. He said on the English that he only left, you know, about 4,000 or 5,000 there to guard the oil. And
but why do we have to guard the oil?
Because if not, they come in and take it and use all the money from the oil to keep funding various activities. So he's guarding the oil in Iraq. He said if they do ask us, if they are asking us to leave, we will only leave if they pay us back for all of our embassies that we built there, all of our everything, all the infrastructure and everything that they've torn up and built there. But that he has left that 4,000 or 5,000 there, and he says he has not totally ruled out even taking some of the oil to pay us back.
Well, and I'm fine with that.
If we agree to it, we've got 35 billion of their dollars to pay ourselves back.
Yeah, and if y'all want to know what Q says about it, back in the start, you know, when he laid everything out, he says that Trump, I mean, what he's doing is he's slicing up portions of the world into territories in the big main
like the
partner.
fucking, like the Hunger Games. Are you talking what?
No,
I'm talking about like he's saying, okay, we're getting out of the Middle East, and he'll say like, okay, China.
Oh, you mean like yeah?
You're in charge of these territories. You take care of it, or we'll be back. Same thing, you know, like we'll take care of South or North America, South America. Like, okay, we're going to be in charge of this.
I think it was $1 billion because they're wanting us to help protect them. And POTUS says, you know what, we'll be happy to, but you're going to pay us.
And
I don't remember that being
you need
the
to really
Q drops. That
yeah, it was.
I don't remember
that's what's going on.
I don't remember
why he pulled out.
I don't remember the Q drop saying that different people were getting assigned different sections of the world to rule.
Different countries, yeah.
No, I don't recall that.
What Q drops those are?
Yeah, that does not sound.
Way back in the beginning.
No, I completely. If I had known that, I would not be following Q right now, because I'm completely against the idea of divvying up the fucking world.
You know what he's
saying
No, he's just saying y'all are already in charge of these people and you're doing nothing about it. You start doing something. And he's making deals saying, we will make, about trade and all this stuff, and we'll make, he's leading them with the carrot, and so far he's proven himself true every time. Look what he did with Syria.
Help me understand what you're saying, because
it may not be divvying up the world. That may not be the greatest choice.
Yeah, maybe, not great.
Because what he's saying is, I think, if I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, Scott, I'm not meaning to speak for you, but my understanding of what you're saying is, he's basically, POTUS has been telling everybody, we're pulling out because y'all need to take care of yourselves. Y'all need to fight your own wars. We don't need to be dying for them. We don't need to be funding all this stuff. But if we pull out in some of the more dangerous areas that has to do with our national security, and you don't take care of it and enforce the laws and be fair, we will be back. And that's basically, I think, what you're referring to.
Well, no, I'm fine with that, but he made it sound like it was the Hunger Games, like we were dividing the world and putting people in charge of it.
Yeah.
Let me give you the latest example. What did he do? Turkey is in charge of that region.
Of what region? By the way,
Syria, Yemen, the ones right there.
No.
Yeah. What just happened? What just happened?
No. Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me and answer this. Please answer my question. You don't know what my question is. I haven't asked it yet. Are you telling me that Q has said that the world has been divided into sections and that certain countries are being put in charge of those sections?
That's kind of like it in a nutshell.
I will not be a part of that. Tell me.
Well, y'all haven't gotten my example. You want to let me talk?
I don't care if there's an example of that having happened. If that's what the vision is, then I'm not going to be a part of that shit.
In the last month it happened. And it happened exactly.
Okay, well then back me out. I'm done with Q. If that's what Q is doing, then I'm done.
No, I'm talking about what Trump's doing.
Okay, then I'm done with him too.
Well, I guess you are.
If he's dividing the world into sections and assigning people control over it, fuck that. No.
What did he just do with Turkey and Syria?
Not that.
Q did not
say that
we're going to be divvying sections per se. That was not.
They established a 32-mile zone on the border. Trump pulled out, and everybody said, "Oh my God, you're abandoning the Kurds, and they're going to come in and attack them and kill everybody." What happened? The attack started. They backed off. Turkey's in control. They got their 20 to 32 mile zone. They're clearing the people out of there.
Well, that's not. Hold on, Scott. That's not assigning
to control part of the world.
Yeah, Turkey control of Syria. That's not doing that.
Well, no. He's taking care of the problem there, though.
That's a whole different way of putting it.
Turkey's the one that's driving it. Turkey's the one that's driving it.
Okay.
Technology was right.
I need you to send me whatever Q information you have that says that Q/Trump have divided the world into sections and that certain countries are going to be in control of those sections.
Like that.
That's exactly what you said.
Well, it is like that because he's telling certain states to step up and exert control of your territory,
over your own territory. Yes.
No, especially those.
He said we're going to back out, and as we do, y'all are going to take over your own areas.
Yeah.
And if you do it right, in your then fine. If everything stays fine, but if not, we will be back. I know what he's referring to, but the terminology he's using is not. That's not a correct correlation.
I don't know how to say it correctly though.
I hope not, because I cannot support that. I absolutely cannot support.
Because there's a big difference between saying Turkey, you're going to control Syria and this area and this area.
No, it isn't. Nationalism is not. No, nationalism is not telling Turkey they get to control Syria.
No,
that is not nationalism.
It's us getting out of their national places and letting their nationalism take. We're exerting our influence.
Nationalism
saying, though. You were saying that they were going to be put in a zone and that everybody in that zone was going to take care of everybody else's, and that's not what he's saying. He's saying everybody's going to be taking care of their own countries as we back out.
That is nationalism.
Don't
national sovereignty.
And it jeopardizes our national security, then we'll come back. But we're not going back to be the world's police on our dime anymore. He said it last night on Laura Ingram. But I know what you're referring to, Scott. We'd have to go back and pull that that post from Q. Kimmy, it's get that raised eyebrow look off your face now, because it's not, that's what he was saying is not. Yeah,
I'm like, I'm voting for Bernie Sanders.
No, you are not. I will come pull that lever for you, or you are voting for Kotter. So anyway,
I'm reading in the chat right now. I'm sending all my stickers.
My computer's going dead, guys. We got to get off.
Oh yeah, Ladies of Liberty's on. We're way over.
I've been
so
in the same spot for 4.5 hours.
Where's my Oh, there it is.
I just want to say for the record, if there is, like, I absolutely do not support anybody who thinks that they have the fucking right to put person A does not have the right to put person B in charge of person C. Person C gets to decide what person C does, and fuck person A and B. And if one of those persons is Trump, then I mean it to him too, because that is not who I think he is.
That's not what he said.
And that's not the man that
not what he's saying. That's not what I'm saying at all.
That's,
I mean, that's not
you're just not.
I'm hearing what you said. You said that he divided it into 10 sections and put people in charge of it, and that's fucked. And I'm not. That's not.
Well, okay, you got two countries. One's nuclear and one's not. There's a huge fucking difference there.
But dividing the world into 10 sections is bullshit. We don't, we need to get away from that.
You people in the Middle East, take care of your own shit. We're getting out.
Well, that's different than dividing.
That's a whole different thing than putting somebody in charge of them.
Yeah, but when you're getting out, there's going to be players that are going to become, the big players, and there's little players. And he's dealing with the big players and saying, don't be an asshole. You're the big player in this region. Take care of your shit. Be good. We'll back off if you do that. And what we will do is we will open up trade to you if it works out and you guys are all peaceful. He's just saying, quit all the bullshit.
Scott, we're just saying that's a lot different than saying, Turkey, you're in charge of this swath of land.
Syria.
And Saudi Arabia, you're in charge of this swath of land.
But if you get right down to
that's
it,
way
if
different.
You say what I'm saying, he's saying to the nuclear powers, you guys are in charge of certain shit in your area.
I disagree.
So what I'm saying, if you just call it down, well, they're in charge because they have nuclear weapons.
Find it in the Q post where it says that, because you claimed that Q was saying that. Find that, and then we'll talk about it.
So by that standard, Saudi Arabia can go in and invade Iraq and say Iran and say we're in charge of this area. So you're no longer a country. You're a part of Saudi Arabia, and that's that.
Look what Saudi Arabia was first. Look at the coalition that's formed already, Israel included.
But Saudi Arabia is not in charge of other countries.
No, but they're saying be responsible in your duties as a world power.
Yay. I have no problem with that. But putting anybody in charge over another entity is not what I support.
Well, if they're in charge because they
can be in charge.
They
can naturally be the leaders of. That's one thing. Being put in charge by is a whole other thing, because that's what the CIA did. That's what the Council of Foreign Relations does. That's what the Bilderberg Group does. Well, they organize shit the way they fucking want it, and I will not support that. And if Q turns out to be just another version of that shit, I'm out of here. I'll still come on here on Saturday nights, but I'll be arguing with every one of you.
That's why we have the mess we have now.
Do you guys not think that Russia is not in charge of Iran.
I have no idea
Or-
if Russia's in charge of Iran. That's between
They
Russia
are.
and Iran. That's not
Yeah.
because we put them
No,
there.
that's local
Exactly.
knowledge.
It's not a section.
Russia is all over the place there.
But you're saying that Q and Trump put them in charge of, and that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
No, that's a natural
Parsing
place.
words, Scott. What you're saying and what she's saying are the same things, except for you're using a term that gives it a different meaning. They're just saying, Q did not say that he was putting them in sections. What Q and Trump both have been supportive of, to my understanding, has been everybody taking care of their own shit, everybody paying for their own crap, everybody paying for their own security. If you can't, you'll pay us to do it. But if we leave and we leave y'all in charge, and it affects us, we will be back. Otherwise, it's your own deal.
Now-
They've been fighting over it for 100 years. But Q did not use that word. I think that most of this boils down to the use of those words of sections, broken up in sections. I know what you were alluding to, but I don't think that was the right terminology. I know that's not for you, but
maybe better would say there are connections between countries, stronger countries over lesser countries. And sometimes those countries don't do anything to help peace. In fact, they may pay for terrorism. And so those countries that have control over other countries, like Iran does over Iraq and Syria, Yemen and stuff, where they've got all their terrorists everywhere, and we're pulling them all out and crap.
But
We're
that
cleaning
doesn't
it
mean
up.
they're
We're just
that
saying.
doesn't mean Iran's in control of Iraq, though.
But they might be in control, but
They
they haven't
are.
been put
They
in
are.
charge. But they haven't been put in charge.
that's what the war's about. Is Iran's trying to control Iraq, just like Russia
Yeah.
tried to control. But that's what all these wars are about. That's what all this eternal conflict is about.
Just like Rusty makes a good point. Russia is not in charge of Iran. They're working with Iran, but that doesn't mean they're in charge of Iran. Russia doesn't say shoot 16 missiles in Iraq and do it now. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You have successfully triggered me. Congratulations. Not many people can do that.
no,
No,
I just
you guys. There was one guy.
no, I agree. That'd be ridiculous to try to section off the world. You can't do that.
I think that was just I'm hoping that was just a poor choice of words, because I understand what you're saying. They're going to be taking responsibility for their own areas, and they're going to be paying for their own stuff, and I am for that.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
don't
I am
want
too.
our boys
They'll
and
be
girls.
they'll be
dying.
sovereign countries. Sovereign countries.
Everybody has their own, but that means also any up to the bar and pay your own bill. You know,
Well,
I
and it
know this.
and it also means if we actually leave them alone, that if Iran or Saudi Arabia or whoever decides that they want to go to war with Iraq, that we let them do it and sort it out on their own without going
Well,
in
they've
and
been doing
defending
it
them.
for millions of years anyway. So
Say it again.
I said they've been doing it for thousands of years anyway. So
Right.
like we're not going to stop
I'm
them.
all for it.
Right. I'm
all
sick
for
of
it.
policing the world. Nobody asked us to do it.
And paying. Not only am I tired of our boys and girls dying, I'm tired of the middle class having it strapped to our back to pay for all this crap. Because that's why we have to work 2 jobs. That's why we don't have.
Well, that's the feminist fault, but yeah, I agree with you.
That's why there's going to be 2 income. I mean, there's so much that you know, all the illegal aliens we pay for, all of this crap around the world that we pay for. We pay for the entire world, and it's all on the backs of the middle class, and POTUS isn't letting it happen anymore. I do highly, highly, highly recommend, guys, everybody watch that Ingram interview with POTUS last night. It was great.
Oh, I missed
I think
it.
it'll answer your questions.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was real
good.
good.
I missed that.
On that note, guys, I hate to say this, but I've got to excuse myself. We've got to get off because I've been on this sitting in the same chair for 5 hours. My feet are numb.
Yes, and James is on with Ladies of Liberty. Okay, Kimmy, your boxes got switched, so you're up first.
I don't have anything to say except if you are, I've got to plug my last show that I did because I had so much fun doing it. If y'all haven't watched it, it's this past Thursday. Just me at @censored_, I think. But we talked about time travel and Tesla and something else. And Scott was in the chat, hilarious. And anyway, it's almost a 4-hour Periscope, so we'll listen to it in like 30-minute chunks or something while you're sleeping. It was probably the most fun show I've done by myself. I've had fun shows with guests, but probably the most fun show I've done by myself. I found it very interesting and mind-blowing. My mind, jelly.
What did you find most mind-blowing? In a quick point.
In a quick point, I would say the most mind-blowing thing is like trying to put your finger on reality. Like, wait a minute, this is not what I thought. But so at the end of the show or whatever, my basic analysis is I don't know that I believe what I just presented to you, but I definitely don't know that I don't believe it. It's very fascinating.
Why did you feel that way now?
The time travel.
Yeah, and
the Alice through the Looking Glass.
That was talking about it the other day that they've effectively made us question everything we hear. We don't know. It's hard to divine the truth.
Yeah,
there's so much out there that they're trying to.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Ricky calls information apocalypse, where you just get bombarded with so much stuff that and then you realize that there's that like who do I believe? When after the Iran thing happened, like you have people on one side saying, yeah, well, you can't trust the Iranian government, it's state-run TV, and someone else saying, well, the White House lies to you every single thing they say, so you can't trust them either. And so now we're stuck in a place where nobody trusts anybody. And that's a fair place to be, because it turns out I think no one is trustworthy when it comes to like the purveyors of information.
You can trust me.
I trust you.
Grandma,
I just don't trust your sources.
Grandma Smith, you're up next.
All I have to say is that was titillating.
Are you talking about my stretch? Because I realized that there was a little more goodness in there than I meant for there to be.
No, not you. Just the whole last segment was like, wow, I'm learning something new here.
Now we got titillating and ass men.
And and we had a nice conversation and disagreed, and then we brought it right back around again. So good job.
Yeah, and I just want to say I adore Scott. Scott, I don't have a problem with you, and I don't think you have a problem with me.
Okay. Oh no, I don't think anybody took it any other way. But then I will close with, take it easy, take it slow. Tell him Grandma told you so.
Tomorrow on sale, Kimmy's Angry Vagina Candle Scents.
Oh, hey, and by the way, Phil,
I'm changing my Periscope name to Kimmy's Angry Vagina.
If you look in the show host thing, you'll find the new Gwyneth Paltrow butter.
Oh no! It's going into other products now. Kind of like garlic butter that's gone bad.
All right, Scott, you're up.
I would just like to say that I won second place in the treasure chest on D-Live tonight.
Oh, you
Brian
did?
Beat me.
Congratulations.
I did. Brian beat me. I was like 79 and he was like 111.
I won last place apparently because I don't see anything on mine.
And I'd like to say I've had a blast tonight. This has been a lot of fun. And I always appreciate you, Doc and Phil, for inviting me on. And we just have so much fun. And we all love each other. Even though we fight back and forth, we have a great time. And we all love each other offline, too. And so, been great. Chat's been great. Love the show. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Doc Martin
Ditto.
is up. Hold on.
Come and listen
I
to
gotta
my
play that
story about a
song.
man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely can stand
You
his
can't
head.
hear it.
And then one day he was shooting
Hopefully
at
by
some
February
food
I
and
have my
up through the
Christmas
ground come a
decorations taken
bubbling
out.
crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea.
tea. All right, Doc.
The first thing you know.
Play my theme music.
Yep.
Are you?
Yes, I was.
Well, I just want to say thank you for joining us for another Speakeasy. That's why we call it the Speakeasy. And yes, that is the thing I love most about our group is we can discuss anything and we still part friends. So glad we had the discussion. And I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it in the weeks to come. So stick with us, come back, and we're going to catch you on the flip side.
That's right. Good night, everybody. Oh, and by the way, don't forget Tamara Lee and Brent Hamachek, Trend on Pirate Radio on Friday night. Tav Show, which you missed a great one on last Sunday night. The Mac Files, happy birthday, Chris Mack.
Yes.
Falcons fan notwithstanding. And
Falcons.
Kimmy Y Censored on Kimmy's My Favorite Things.
I've got to change the name of my show. I'm so over that, and I don't even know what to call it.
You got a name
We
for
already
it. You
said.
just came up with one.
Yeah. Yeah, about the vagina thing. Angry vagina.
What was it?
Kimmy's Angry Vagina.
Angry vagina.
And the Daily Boogie.
I'll
Follow
put that in
Boogie and listen to a show or watch it. He makes you think. At least he makes you think. I'm sorry, Doc.
And I do want to. I do want to thank Tigress.
Kimmy's Angry Vagina just joined.
Who is that? That's got to be Christy. That's got to be Christy. That's Christy.
Oh no! Don't forget.
That's too funny.
Oh,
too funny.
Well, happy birthday, Chris Mack! And
I
be
knew
sure to
that was
watch
interesting.
Kimmy Y Censored on Kimmy's Angry Vagina. And
y'all got me wanting to start a whole new show with a whole new topic.
Christy, don't tell us if you don't take a shower for a day or two. We don't want to hear any jokes.
She can't change it for a month, y'all. I just need you to know that. Okay, Christy, you have to be on my show in the next month, and I'm gonna introduce you as my guest.
oh, you better get some false teeth for that thing.
And some of that candle scent from whatever name is.
Oh man,
it comes with its own scent. Anger.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, and
I do want to thank
quick,
Tigress for the background here. I think it's cool.
Real quick, we got another show incoming.
I thank Jesus and Santa for my background.
We got a show, the Red Wave Show.
The what?
Here we go.
The Red Wave Show.
I don't know about
Wave.
I guess we're about to see a video.
So
really? What
not
is
gonna
that?
see a video. I just put the screenshot up there.
Who are the let's see.
Well, Doc and I and a substitute when Doc can't be there.
Yeah, you were talking about having a show during the week. That's it?
Yep, that's gonna be it. The Red Wave Show.
Nice.
It's only gonna be about.
I love it.
It's only gonna be about the candidates in the House for the most part. Maybe some Senate seats. So we need to get the House back, and you're gonna have to swallow your whatever and just vote red. We got to get the House back. Doesn't matter. Whoever the candidate is, you got to vote for him.
Here's the deal, Bill.
Yeah.
We need the audience help, and all of you mega patriots, because here's the deal. We don't have time to research all of these candidates all of them on our own and vet them like they did with the Candidates Corner in the past. So we're talking about short snippets, giving you some information. If you know that your congressman is up for grabs, then we're going to need help in each of these states. So everybody needs to send us information about their state if they know, or if you have a particular candidate that you've researched. We're going to.
Yeah, it's hard. Like Mac Thornberry, my House of Representative up in Congress, he's stepping down. He's a conservative. Thank God he's getting away. But I can't find anything about who's running to replace him or Democrats.
Well,
nothing.
I'm going to say this, and being from the Tea Party, I bit my tongue and voted for Mitt Romney. Didn't want to, but did anyway. You're going to have to this time. Got to get the House back. Doesn't matter who the candidate is. If they're a Republican, you got to vote for them. Because you're going to get the Freedom Caucus that are going to keep these guys in line. At least the president isn't going to get impeached, and he's going to get his agenda through. Right now, you can't get anything done.
In a primary situation, we want a person that is going to be the most conservative and that is going to be supportive of our agenda. Plain and simple.
But after the primary, you're going to have to vote red. It doesn't matter who it is. All the way down the ticket, you're going to have to do it.
Yep.
You're going to have to hold your nose and go, okay, because there's going to be a candidate on there that you're not going to like. But can you picture 4 more years with Trump in office, the Senate being held, and the House being run by Nancy Pelosi for 4 more years?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And she'll stay, too. When he wins. She will stay, and if we don't win the House, that's it. She's going to be in charge again, and it's going to be impeach, nonstop. Investigations. They're not going to do any of his agenda, period. So,
but I don't think that's going to happen, but we need to fight like it might.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You're going to have to vote. So I know there's going to be some primaries that aren't going to end out the way you want it to. You're just going to have to hold your nose and do it this time. It's going to happen. There's going to be a primary out there that a Trump supporting MAGA person is not going to win, but you're going to have to hold your nose and do it. Right? And get out there and vote in mass. Think about this. If we don't win the House, Nancy Pelosi for 4 more years.
I think we're going to have a super majority myself.
Don't think that way.
Well, the only way we have a super majority is if we all go out and vote.
Yes.
And I think we will.
You can't have people thinking that we're going to win. Right now, we're behind.
Crowds at rallies.
We're behind.
We're behind in the House right now. So we got a lot of work to do to even win the House back. But not only win the House back, if you want a super majority, you're going to have to really fight your ass off to get people out there to vote.
Well, and for me, when I voted in 2016, I lived in Mississippi. There was no doubt Trump was going to win. And I had full confidence he was going to win the whole thing, take the whole thing home, not just in Mississippi. Excuse me. The only reason I voted was, number one, because I always had, and I'm going to always, as long as I can. But I wanted my one vote to be added to everybody else's one vote so that we could show a big number, as big a number as possible. And even if we think that we're going to win, which I fully believe that we will, I think that we need to consider each one of our votes to be like a note to him saying, I support you. I support you. I want you to be my president. Because if you don't, if you just think that he's going to win and so you're like, he's going to win to stay home, then he might not.
Right. You have to fight like you're behind. You always have to fight like you're behind.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if the polls aren't skewed as we get closer to the election to make it look like he's going to win in a landslide on purpose, but because of the crazy Democrat and liberal media we have. I mean, they're going to pull out all the stops.
Right down to the House races. They're going to say, oh, the Republican in District 22 is going to win hands down. Maybe I don't have to vote tonight. That person's going to win anyway, right? You can't be like
I
that.
just think people are excited. I agree with you there, but I think people are excited.
There's going to be people that are going to see the polls and go, I don't need to
I
go.
look at the people that go to rallies.
You're going to see the polls, and there's going to be people that are going to say, I don't need to go. You know, I'm busy today. The kids are crying. I didn't make dinner yet. I just got
Yeah,
out
I'd
of
love
work.
to go vote, but I've got
But my
chicken in the
candidate's
oven.
up 20 points or 10 points or 8 points or whatever. I don't need to vote. My vote's not going to matter. So you can't. This is about getting people out there. You got to get out there and vote. And again, like I said, there's going to be primaries that are going to be lost by the candidate you want, but you're going to have to hold your nose. We're going to have to get people to realize you got to vote for that person, even though that's not your choice. You're going to have to do it.
Well, we're going to, but we got to go.
Yes.
Out here, guys. Catch you
Doc's
next
got to
week.
go pee.
Yes, I do. Y'all see the look on my face?
Yeah.
I've got to go. Okay, now, guys.
I've got to go play Rust because someone raided my base and stole all my shit last night, so I have to start over.
Uh-oh. Okay. Bye, y'all. Take it easy, Bill.
Playing your clothes.
Are we out?
Doc, you can pee. Don't forget to watch Timmy's Angry Vagina every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Don't get too close, it'll bite your head off.
I can't wait to watch it.
We are live, guys. Y'all know that. They can hear it.
Yeah, they can.
We have the most fun